Now let's go ahead and remove the blocker, My Ugly Mug. See if that intro card works this time. Wow, okay, I'll need to rethink the intro card thing. I think my new screen has very much messed that up. So yeah, we'll get the intro card fixed for the next tournament, but I think, yeah, my new screen is causing that not to work. So without further ado, here we are. Let's see what the armies have brought for us. Now, starting with the Greenskins brought by RTK PrussianPrince. We are going to have Orc Boys up front. Looks like we're going to have 4 of them. We're then going to have some Savage Orc Biggins on the flanks here, and then 1 Savage Orc Biggin in the center. Going to have the 3 Arrow Boys, which I think I already mentioned. We have the 8 Peak Loonies back here because, I mean, gotta have the 8 Peak Loonies. You're then going to have 2 Stone Trolls, a Goblin Big Boss on a Wolf with They Need Stabbing, a River Troll Hag with Spirit Leech, as well as Mither. And then we have Grom the Paunch on his chariot. He's going to have the Lucky Banner, along with the Great on his here, and Language of the Boys. That's going to round out our Greenskin army. And now let's see what the Tomb Kings have over here. Going to be looking at a Skeleton Chariot on their right flank. We're also going to be seeing for the infantry, Skeleton Spearmen, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Did I count right? Yes, I did. We're also going to have a single Skeleton Warrior. He's then going to have 4 Nehekar Horsemen, 2 Skeleton Horse Archers. He's got a single Screaming Claw Catapult. We're going to have a Necrotect with Restore, and what is that armor ability again? It's not Vambraces of the Sun, is it? It is Vambraces of the Sun. And then we're going to have the ROR Sphinx of Utep, along with Archon the Black. He's going to have the Tomb Blade of Archon, as well as Spirit Leech, Soul Blight, Liber Mortis, and Staff of Nagash. So, Tomb King's coming out from some early skirmish game. Going to be firing away at the Savage Orc Biggins by the looks of it. Nice targeting. But yeah, the Tomb Kings are going to need to do an insane amount of work in order to win this. But we'll see. The mobility, the pressure is going to be on RTK Maker to really micro very, very well. Right now, I think he just got his skeletons killed, though, his chariots. With the new patch, since they're going to be harder to pull through infantry models and knock them over, looks like the skeleton chariots are going to die right there. I mean, they'll at least take some health off the Orc Boys before they go, but yeah, it looks like this skeleton chariot unit is just going to be knocked out very quickly there, and you got to be careful now. I mean, when you dive in with those chariots, it's not going to be super easy to pull through, and so you want to make sure there's nothing behind your opponent that you're diving into, because right there, that infantry they dived into was backed up by another unit of infantry and some trolls. Over here, Savage Orc Biggins, Doom and Darkness going down, Nehekar Horsemen smashing into him. A huge pickup, so very nice pickup for the Tomb Kings there, and now the trade is pretty much even. They lost their chariots, but they've eliminated a single unit of Savage Orc Biggins, which was very valuable indeed, coming in at 900 cost. I think it's the same price as a Tomb King chariot. Over here, it looks like the Tomb Kings are going to be pulling back away from this Greenskin engagement. They've done enough damage to the Savage Orc Boys, and they don't want to get caught in combat with all of these trolls and such. Looks like the Nehekar Horsemen are diving in for another charge, allowing the Necro Sphinx to pull out and get to safety. But now the rest of the Greenskin forces are getting close to combat, and I just worry about the Tomb King forces once these Greenskins close the gap and get on top of this cheap Tomb King infantry. Nehekar Horsemen taking a ton of damage in combat with the Stone Trolls. And now the Greenskin Arrow Boys are in range, and they're going to start pouring fire onto the Screaming Skull Catapult to try and shut it down. Got the 8 Peak Loonies sending their loons down the line and getting some good damage, but also, unfortunately, some friendly fire. But hey, what's a little friendly fire to the Greenskins? They don't care. They're fanatics. Yeah, archers should be able to eliminate the Screaming Skull Catapult in another 10 seconds or so. Sphinx of Usep, along with the Nehekar Horsemen, though, are diving into this frontline engagements. Archon the Black looks like he may be getting caught out a little bit, though. Stone Trolls here in the front line are routing. Greenskins are trying to chase Arc on the Black, but it looks like he should be able to escape to safety. He's a little bit ahead of them. And now we have the Hekara Horsemen diving in to play defense, block them out. Spirit Leech is going down on top of the ground with the punch, and now the Sphinx of Usep is coming in. Sphinx of Usep has fire damage. Grom has a weakness to fire, and look at this. Wow. You see how he just, like, as soon as Grom got out of position, he just sent in Hekara Horsemen and Skeleton Spearmen to basically pin all these units in place. And now we have the Tomb King Ushapti summon coming in, and he just dished out so much damage to Grom the Punch, but Grom is now going to be escaping to safety, it would seem. He's like, oh man, that was a close call, but he should be able to get out of there and regenerate. Meanwhile, across the rest of the front line, you can see that the Tomb King infantry is just not up to snuff. You're going to see these Greenskins just kind of rolling over them, and as time wears on, the Greenskins are getting to be in a stronger place. I do have to say that if they could have effectively sniped Grom the Punch, that could have really changed things up. And oh man, an Overcast Doom and Darkness is causing a huge terror rout on these Greenskin units, and they are so close to the edge of the map, people. Fortunately for them, they are retreating down instead of over here to the white line. But this could be a huge turning point as the Tomb Kings begin smashing these trolls and the giant river troll hag. One of the trolls is still healthy though, so we'll have to see what happens from there. But now the Greenskin infantry is also finished mopping up the rest of the Tomb King army, and it looks like they're going to start coming around and getting into this big engagement. There we go. Doom and Darkness continuing to just debuff that leadership of these troll units. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, the Tomb Kings do have some healthy skeleton warriors here that were summoned. They have healthy skeleton spearmen. The Goblin Big Boss is getting smashed. Grom the Paunch getting a Spirit Leech. And a massive hit from the Necrosphinx. What is he down to? Oh my god. He's routing right now. Wah's just been... How was Wah... Oh, duh, it's not Bound of the Lord anymore. I'm being silly. I just can't believe this match. This is a great match, but the Greenskins are definitely in the lead in the balance of power. Ushapti... the Necrosphinx of... Usep is coming in after the giant river troll hag, smashing her. And keep in mind, the fire damage from this guy on top of these two troll heroes is going to be absolutely devastating. I know Grom the Paunch is technically a goblin, but he ate troll meat, that's why he can regenerate. So, same difference. Alright, Sphinx of Usep is coming back over here. Looks like he's going to be trying to help out the remaining Tomb King forces, rout these stone trolls, and I think he's going to be able to, because, you know, you got all these spearmen supporting him. And if he can eliminate these stone trolls, that's going to be very, very nice. But gotta do something about these Greenskin archers. They've been unchallenged the entire game, and they're just pouring in so much damage the Tomb Kings cannot afford to take. Over here, oh, a massive loon just going through that Tomb King blob. Going to do a touch of friendly fire as usual. You know, it wouldn't be a loon without that friendly fire. And suddenly the Tomb Kings are on the ropes. You can see all this infantry is crumbling out. A very nice effort from the Tomb Kings, but now the troll heroes are staying as far away as they can from the Necrosphinx of Usep, I think, recognizing the only way they're really going to lose this is if they get too close and get knocked out from there. Arc on the Black, not sure if he has another Spirit Leech or not. Another Spirit Leech could get Grom the Punch very close to dead. Staff from Nagash has been popped. My goodness. And now look at that. Sphinx of Usep coming in. Oh, it's going to miss the first hit. That hit could have killed him if it had landed. No doubt in my mind. Arc on the Black just using that Sphinx of Usep so well. But now the Stone Trolls are on top of him. He's starting to get close to crumbling. Is it critical binding? Does he have a Spirit Leech? Or has he used all of his magic with those Overcast Doom and Darknesses? I think this is the Spirit Leech. Oh, it's a Doom and Darkness on top of Grom the Punch. Interesting, but that's going to be a GG. And a very nice first game to these two RTK clanmates. Prussian Prince. I didn't update the scoreboard. God damn, guys. I'm butchering today. Luckily, the Tomb King's part was right, but the Chaos part was not right. So, Greenskins. Grom the Paunch getting some very good value here. Same with the River Troll Hag. Infantry doing their job. And look at that. The 8-peak Loony is getting over 1,000 points worth of damage with those loons. These guys doing well as usual. These two kind of underperforming. As you can see, the Tomb King player did a great job eliminating some of these Savage Orcs earlier on in the battle. These guys didn't get a lot of damage value, but they chewed through a ton of infantry models. And these guys got some good value and infantry models killed off. Archers, I honestly think, were key there. I mean, look at the Archers, 821 damage value, 865 damage value, 842 damage value. Like, I'm so glad they added that, because otherwise you'd be like, oh, they didn't do too much. But, like, these guys all paid for themselves and more with that missile pressure. And the Tomb Kings, I think that was one of the fatal errors, is they just really did nothing to ever counter and eliminate these Greenskin Archers. Stone Trolls, also one of them paying very much for himself. The other one still getting a lot of damage in, but mainly the value coming from just the number of models he was killing. Archon the Black, great value. Going to see the Tomb King infantry, as you can see, just kind of, you know, holding the line and surviving. Some of these Nekhara horsemen, it didn't seem like they got too much of their value. This guy, unfortunately, dived to his doom. But let's see the Necro Sphinx. Aha! Yeah, 2,500 points in value and the damage it dealt out. This Necro Sphinx, it's been a while since I've seen a battle where the Necro Sphinx was doing that much work against the army. So very well played to RTK Maker there. I really liked this synergy between Archon the Black and the Sphinx of Uset with those Doom and Darknesses. Doom and Darkness is a spell I always like to see, since you usually just see people bringing the Spirit Leech only. But yeah, great first game. Let's update that scoreboard, give Prussian Prince the first victory, and then go back to the lobby. Alright, in between matches I'm going to go and change my UI scale to see if that fixes it, because yeah, this bugginess is legit. Seems to be only at a distance that it gets really bad, but still. Don't want to be dealing with that. The high elf army looks like garbage. Okay, anyways, not like the build. I mean, just like all the UI glitches. So, for the Vampire Coast, we're going to have Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mob. Up front, looks like we have 3 of them. Yeah, just 3. We're then going to have a 4th one right here, and a Deckhand Mob with polearms here, sitting on top of 2 mortars. On the left flank, we're going to have quite a strong monster core. We're going to have 2 Rotting Promethean Gunnery Mob. One of them will be the Lamprey's Revenge. We're also going to have some Morghuls. And by some, I mean 3. So 3 units of Morghuls hidden over here. Down in the forest, we're going to have a Vampire Fleet Captain with the lore of, you guessed it, vampires. And they are going to be bringing, you guessed it, Invocation of Nehek, the Drowned Dead, along with Taunt and a Power Stone. Up in the air, we have the one and only Luther Harkin. Luther Harkin will have Hornswaggle and nothing else, but he's going to be riding his Death Streak Terrorgeist into battle. Rabe, 7 p.m. and you're sleepy? Yes, you are getting old, but there's no shame in that because I am the same way. Now, for the High Elves, we're going to have 3 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers up front. Behind them, we are going to have Archers with light armor. Looks like just one of them, and then we're going to have 3 regular Archers. He's going to have the Talons of Tor Kaleda, 2 Sisters of Averlorn, so a lot of missile power here. We're going to have 3 units of Rangers, and then we're going to have Illyrian Reavers. Looks like we're going to have 4 of them holding down the back line to protect things. Now, from there, let me make sure I'm not missing anything, but I think we just have the Lord. The Lord is going to be an Archmage of Fire on top of a Great Eagle. A very cool Great Eagle, that red coloration. This mage is going to be bringing the Burning Head, Fireball, and Kindle Flame. So, main things you'll want to watch out for, too, is don't want to get shot to death by Luther Harkin. And I don't think I saw Speed of Lycos. Yeah, Speed of Lycos was not brought. Sometimes you see the Vampire Coast player bringing that Speed of Lycos, and we'll do kind of an aerial ambush with Luther Harkin on top of a High Elf Flyer. Alright, Luther Harkin coming into range to dodge these Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. You're the best, thank you so much. I got coffee. But yeah, I mean, Luther Harkin is the king of dodging, so these rounds are going to be wasted on him, I do think. And let's go check on the Tomb King army to make sure they're advancing. Indeed, they are. I'm really sorry about the UI glitching right now. I'm going to have to check that after the stream. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Fireball coming in. Yeah, he's not going to be able to dodge that one. Ooh, and he's also going to take a few bolts to the body. Can't dodge them all, but Luther Arkin doing a good job dodging so far. And I think the High Elves, like I understand, you want to keep shooting periodically, fulfilling that attacking role, but I like that they're not wasting too much in terms of ammunition on top of them so far. So you can see the coast on their approach. They're doing it very smartly, coming up to the back of this hill. I think if they push forward a little bit more, it will help them. It looks like they're doing so now. Because really all they need to worry about is if they can get their like mortars, let's say, to right here, then the Eagle Call bolt throwers won't really be able to shoot them with their line of fire, whereas the mortars can easily lob shots over. Alright, gotta be careful with that ammunition. You don't want to waste it all on top of these guys. Oh man, what the hell? That fireball just gave up. Alright, Vampire Fleet Captain should be discovered right now, which might tip off the High Elves to what's going on. Because you gotta remember, most of this army has been hidden the entire time on this flank. Keeping the crabs in the trees, and the Mournguls obviously have stock already. But if the High Elves notice that little glimpse of a Vampire Fleet Captain walking out in the open, I think it will make them wise to what's going on here. But not sure if they've noticed yet or not. I almost think a Lure of Light would work here, maybe. Okay, I lied. Eagle Call bolt throwers somehow. Looking like they still might be able to get shots down on top of the mortars, but the mortars have open fire. Look at this, Luther Harkin holding still, not dodging, taking quite a lot of damage from a few volleys there, but archers should probably stop shooting at him now, as you can see this ammunition being wasted into the ground. Alright, here come the crabs. They're out of the forest. Honestly, would have liked to have seen them stay in the forest a bit more, but it looks like the jig is up and they're just going to come out full force towards the High Elves now. Okay, we'll remove those things until the next battle just because it causes them to not glitch at least. Over here, Mournguls, crabs, everything pouring in. I worry that they are way too blobbed up together. And look at that. They're just trying to close the gap as quickly as possible. But this could play right into the Elf's hands. Because now, instead of you having a Vampire Coast covering a lot of ground to like kind of pressure different flanks and avenues of approach, you have them all sitting here in a blob. And the blob, the High Elves, should be able to easily, you know, keep in place with their Illyrian Reavers, and then as long as they can keep them pinned in place for a little bit, the archers can make quick work of these Mournguls. Yeah, archers firing away. Illyrian Reavers are routing. Eagle Call bolt thrower taking some serious damage. Mournguls are all taking a ton of damage though. Man, oh man, the mortars though firing in now unimpeded, just devastating any units they can connect with. I mean, will this rush pay off for the Vampire Coast, or will the High Elves be able to successfully repel it? This is really the whole battle right here unfolding before our very eyes. Whoever comes out on top in this engagement, I'm sure will win the battle. And right now is looking very good for the High Elves. Vampire Fleet Captain taking a fireball to the face, dealing about half damage to his health, or half health. Mongols are on their last legs. Rotting Prometheans holding up a bit better because they have that nice 120 armor. Pacifist Warlord, thank you for that subscription. 5 months, people. Give them some love. Burning Head going through those gunnery mob. Am I crazy, or did they make the Burning Head smaller? Either way, it looks great still. But, moving on from there. Yeah, I mean, the Mongols are... Yeah, they've been taking a pounding. One of them's eliminated. This one's crumbling out. Should be gone in just a second. And then you have this one down here that is also going to be crumbling out pretty soon here. Down to a mere 1,000 HP in a moment. Getting shot in the back by the talents of Torquelada. So, I think this is going to be a high elf game right now, unless something crazy happens, simply because the Rotting Prometheans and the Mongols, like I say, they just rushed one flank so hard. And it's nice to overload a flank on occasion, but when you're going up against such a heavy missile-focused army, it can be very dangerous, because if you're in range of the left flank of the High Elves and you're attacking the right flank with everything you got, that means the left flank can still be shooting you the entire time. And I think that's what we saw here, is just this Vampire Coast rush come in too quickly and then get eliminated. Over here, Vampire Fleet Captain going to get killed off by the Archmage and some Rangers. Luther Harkin fighting to the last, doing okay for himself, but the Lamprey's Revenge even is now getting eliminated. Yeah, 2 full health Illyrian Reavers over here for some reason. I would love to see them, I don't know, maybe come over here to where the battle's happening, but looks like it may not be needed at this point anyhow. Prussian Prince looking very, very strong. Keykeeper, thank you. 7-month streak, 8 months in a row. Thank you so much for the subscription. Sweet Keykeeper, looking forward to seeing you play, man. Now, Luther Harkin getting focused by everything the High Elves got. High Elves have eliminated pretty much everything in this Vampire Coast army now. The balance of power is still not completely out of hand for the coast, though. So, we'll see what happens. Luther Harkin is a tough boy. Oh, there goes a burning head. I heard it. I seen it. Oh, look at that. The vampires doing a good job of peeling their infantry apart, allowing the burning head to go through harmlessly for the most part, but then hitting these mortars. Now going to touch these zombie pirates. And now we have Illyrian Reavers coming around to put pressure on the flanks. Hey, Alex, thank you so much for the follow, man. Tactical reserves indeed. Can you imagine if these tactical reserves were over here? This entire army would be dead by now, because Illyrian Reavers, with their speed, I mean, they only have one anti-large unit here to worry about, so those Illyrian Reavers can kill zombie deckhand mob no problem. And now one mortar's down to 1 model. Actually, both mortars are down to 1 model. And suddenly the balance of power is shifted heavily in favor of the High Elves. And bada bing, bada boom, this one's down to no bottles. And now it looks like they're going right after this mortar too. Ooh, a nice connection from that mortar though on top of the Sisters of Averlorn. RTK Maker calling a GG. Looks like we'll be seeing a concession here. And a great series to these two clanmates. PrussianPrince coming out with the W. Supposed to be wider? Okay, cool, Kirazen. Thanks for letting me know that. But yeah, I mean, PrussianPrince there, I really like this army. I've seen him Actually, it wasn't him, but I've seen. Oh crap! Who was it? It's one of it's on YouTube, my YouTube, a battle between the Vampire Coast and the High Elves where I thought Luther Harkin had won, and it was up against a very similar army to the one we're seeing right here. But yeah, just I like it. Got a little bit of anti-infantry with the Rangers here. You got the Illyrian Reavers. I mean, there's no anti-large, but I guess you're really just banking on being able to shoot the large units down, so it makes sense not to have it. But I like the Illyrian Reavers are here are the linchpin. I mean, if you have this many missiles, you will not be successful without these Illyrian Reavers. The reason I say that is because nothing else in this army, if these Illyrian Reavers weren't here, for instance, that rush on the left flank would have bulldozed all of these archers. It would have been able to pull through the Rangers no problem for their Mongols. They would have been able to get in the back lines and start shutting them down. But those two Illyrian Reavers early on who dived in there and pinned them in place is what saved the day. The mass that these guys provided and the time they bought for the missiles to pour arrows into the Vampire Coast is really what won the day in the end. Over here, you can see some of them got some decent value, but the Mongols getting shut down hard. Illyrian Reavers not getting value. These two stayed in strategic reserve the whole battle, but hey, they didn't need them. She got some good value with the Burning Heads and the Fireballs. Archers, even the ones that had no kills, you can see they're dishing out more damage than they're worth. These guys are 475 to bring, and each one of them paid for themselves. Talons of Torquelada, doing some good work. Bringing in 1,000, so they paid for themselves too, and so did these armored archers. Sisters of Averlorn, this one paid for themselves and then some. So yeah, you can see here in the value from the damage, like the missiles did their job. They applied the pressure and they got the damage done that they needed to do to win the game. And everything else, the Illyrian Reapers, the Rangers and stuff, just held on long enough for them to do it. But I do think it's a huge mistake to rush in with all mobility without any infantry support. It was just a bit of an odd choice to me. I think sitting back on the mortars was the strategy he was going for there, but unfortunately that wasn't going to work out either when you have 3 Eagle Claw bolt throwers that are just so damn good at shooting down artillery pieces.